What's up, guys? Welcome to your 137th Android tutorial for the new Boston, where we're actually going to start using this geocoder to get an address and print it on the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to work within our try bracket that we set up in the last tutorial, and we're going to create a list that holds our addresses, and it's going to be the addresses type. So we're going to set up our list, and like I said, it's the type address like this, and we're just going to call this address. Going to set this equal to our geocoder that we set up in the last tutorial. So we're going to say geocoder dot, and we're going to use from the location, or get from location, and as you can see, it takes a longitude, latitude, longitude, and a maximum result. So first thing that we need to do is we need to reference our geopoint that we set up a few tutorials ago called touch point right here. And again, this we can also say get longitude, get latitude, and that kind of method to get the longitude and latitude. So let's just set that up here real quick. Again, our geopoint was called touched point, so we can say touched point dot get latitude, and that's going to give us a geopoint. But what we want to do is we want to convert that into kind of the reference that Android is going to take for this. So we're just going to divide it by 1 e to the 6th, like that. And then we're also going to do pretty much the same thing for the get longitude. So we're just going to say our touch point or our geopoint dot get longitude, and again we're going to divide it by 1e6, because again, when we're getting our longitude and latitude, it has this e6 here, so we actually just want to divide that out to get rid of that. And then for a maximum result, all we're going to say is 1, because we just want one result for a list, and I see that I mistyped list over here, so make sure it's like that. And now we have our list address set up, and all we're going to do is basically see if the address size is bigger than 1, because then we'll have something within our list and we can actually reference it. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if address dot size, and that's going to return the size of our list, and if that's greater than 0, we're going to perform an action, and this action, all we're going to do is a for loop, and we're going to say int I is equal to 0 to start with, not 1, sorry, I. And I know I'm kind of going quickly here. I'll explain everything at the end once we have everything set up. And then we're going to say as long as I is less than our address dot get, and we're going to get the location, which we set as 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to say get max address line index, and that's going to get, you know, the maximum value of our addresses list, and then we're just going to increment by 1. And now what we're going to do is within this for loop, we're going to say set up a string called display, and we're going to say display is plus equal to, which is going to add to our address. We refer to our address list, so we're going to say address dot get position 0 or location 0, and then we're going to say dot get address line, and we're going to refer to our variable, which we called I, and then we're just going to print a new line. So you print a new line, again just \n, and that's going to set up our string. So let's get rid of our error. We have to add the catch exception, the input output, or we're just going to say finally, and we just need to get rid of this error, so we need to add a catch exception or a finally, so we're just going to say finally and have nothing in there. So once we add that finally, we see we get an error here, so we actually need to catch some kind of exception, so we're just going to say add catch clause to our parameter, and it's an input output exception that we're going to catch. So it sets it up for us. We need to have that specific catch because that's what we're trying here. And now when we run our application, let's hope everything works. Alright, and then finally what we're going to do is, and then after this for loop, what we're going to do is we're just going to create a toast that's going to display our address or a display string here. So we're just going to say toast t is equal to toast dot make text dot context can say get base class or get base context, which we use. I didn't really explain, but that's going to be like our main context. Then we're going to say display and the duration toast dot set length long, and then we're just going to say dot t dot show. So we're going to display our toast, and we're getting an error here because our string is set up within this inner for loop. So we're going to cut that and kind of define it right here within our if statement. And now when we run our program, sorry if that went a little quick there, but again, we just need our string outside of our if or our for statement, and then we're going to display the toast just so we have reference to the same variable. Let's run it real quick, and I'll go over a quick overview of everything that we did in this tutorial, because I know it went pretty quickly, but let's make sure it works first. What's up, guys? I ran our application on the emulator, and for some reason it wasn't pulling up the address, but when I ran it on my phone it was working. So you guys are just gonna have to take my word for it that the way that we wrote it here does work. I would show you guys, but you know, I'm too lazy to bust out my camera, and it's probably gonna be out of focus anyway. So it will display, like, you know, if we zoom in a house, we can click on that house, hold it down, and then say get address, and it'll tell us the specific address of that house. So that's pretty neat. And I also told you guys how to explain everything, but this tutorial is getting kind of long, so I'll probably do that in the next tutorial because it's going to be pretty short. So just check out the next tutorial if you guys want a better understanding of what we actually set up here, and I'll catch you then. Have a good one.